I hid my real identity for 5 years. Now my fiancé wants me to meet his family, but they already know me as someone else. 5 years ago, I escaped my past and started over with a new name and a new life. Everything was going perfectly until the man I love told me he wants me to meet his family. The problem is, I already have, under a different identity, as the woman who exposed one of their darkest secrets. Let me preface this by saying I never meant for any of this to happen. When I met Daniel, I wasn't planning on falling in love. I wasn't even planning on staying in the same city. I had a plan: lay low, keep my head down, survive. I didn't expect kindness. I didn't expect healing, and I sure as hell didn't expect someone like him. We met at a coffee shop. I spilled a hot latte on his shirt. He made a sarcastic comment about taking the burn for someone pretty, and I laughed, really laughed, for the first time in months. That laugh turned into a conversation, then into dates, then into years. But I've been hiding something this entire time. My name isn't Elle, it's Jessica. 5 years ago, I was a journalist. Not a famous one, just a local name. I specialized in family court corruption and government scandals. One day, a tip came in about a prominent family in a nearby state, allegations of abuse, cover-ups, bribery. A web of lies spun around a powerful last name, Whitmore. I followed the leads, interviewed terrified former employees, found bank records, even got video proof of hush money being exchanged. I published a 3-part expose that ended with one family member imprisoned, several public apologies, and a once-beloved name dragged through the mud. After that, the threats started. First anonymous, then direct. One day, I came home to find my apartment door wide open. The place looked untouched, except for a knife stabbed through the article I wrote, taped to my fridge. I ran, changed everything, moved. New name, no more journalism, just survival. Fast forward to now, 5 years later, I'm in love with Daniel Whitmore. Yeah, that Whitmore. I didn't recognize him at first. He introduced himself as Dan Reed. Turns out he legally changed his last name to distance himself from the family scandal. He said he didn't want people to judge him based on their last name. Irony, right? He never knew about my past. I thought I was safe. Until yesterday. He smiled at me over breakfast and said, "I want you to meet my family. Officially. I think it's time." Panic hit me like a freight train. I tried to reason with myself. Maybe they wouldn't recognize me. I wore different hair back then, no makeup, different style. But one of them will remember. And even if they don't recognize my face, they'll never forget my name, Jessica Hale. I sat in my car for hours after he left, just staring at nothing. Thinking, should I confess everything? Tell him the truth? What if he hates me? What if he leaves? And more importantly, what if he tells them where I am? Out of desperation, I reached out to my old friend Marla, one of the few people who knows the whole story. She's a PI now, funny enough. She gave me the breakdown of the Whitmore family today. Apparently, they've been looking for me for years. Quietly, they blame me for destroying the family legacy. They still believe the allegations were lies. Some of them are involved in lawsuits to this day. One of them, Daniel's cousin Grayson, even tried to sue the news outlet I worked for. He failed, but he knows my face. Marla asked me the question I didn't want to answer. Do you love him enough to tell the truth, even if it means losing him? Last night, I sat across from Daniel on our couch. I looked at the man who held me through my worst panic attacks. The man who surprises me with books he thinks I'll love. The man who once drove through a snowstorm just to bring me soup. I opened my mouth and said, I need to tell you something about who I really am. I told him everything. I watched his face cycle through confusion, anger, pain, and then silence. That hurt the most. He stood up and left without saying a word. It's been 24 hours. No calls. No texts. I don't blame him. I just hope, if he's reading this somehow, he knows I never used him. I never meant to lie. I just fell in love and forgot to run. Just now, there was a knock at my door. It was Daniel. His eyes were red. His jaw was tense. He handed me a folder. Inside were documents, witness testimonies, sealed depositions, bank statements. He said, I spent the last 24 hours pulling every record I could. You were telling the truth. My family lied to me. All these years. I started crying. He pulled me into a hug. Then he whispered, let's take them down together. So yeah, I don't know where this is going. But for the first time in 5 years, I'm not running anymore.